Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wingcat Sports. It's our Red Wings weekly breakdown. And we didn't really have too terrible, I guess, of a week with how the win against the Canucks the other week. I mean, you didn't have a good game against the Oilers to start it out, losing 8-4 to them. It just wasn't a good game overall. But besides the goals, you actually kept up with them pretty well because you let up 36 shots. You were keeping up with them, but you got 38 shots on that.
Yeah, sorry about my voice today. It was a good game for two periods, but then Connor McDavid put his cape on and turned into Superman. Six, uh, six assists on the night. He did a, I mean, he's capable of that. That just happens. We thought before the week started they'd have a rough first. This would be a rough week for them, and started out that way.
Yeah, it wasn't a good start to the week. But I mean, you came back against the Canucks. I think the Canucks was another good defensive game for the most part until the third period, if I remember correctly. They only got 21 shots on that. You
Yeah,
stopped a good Canucks team from getting too many shots. You just let up the goals.
yeah. I mean, they played. I thought Vancouver would be a tough match. They were really wanting to beat us. Um, I guess they gave out some warnings before the game or something like that. They were worried about something happening. It's good we get some rivalries going here, and it's good to have that little animosity and stuff like that. So, but they beat them on Sunday, so it's like I said, we expected this.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people were kind of worried because of what happened last year. Right after the All Star break, we went and had our terrible losses, and then the rest of the year fell
Right.
apart.
But if you count the Vancouver game on Sunday, we went 2-2 this week. So I mean, I'm not too upset.
No, you ended up going into Calgary to end the week. Reimer got another shutout. A great game. He had 38 shots on him, and he shut him out. We won 5-0, and that's a good way to end the week that a lot of people were worried about. And it gives you a little bit of momentum going into a little bit of an easier week, even though it's more games. It's a little bit easier than what we just went through.
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, we really needed to beat Calgary to salvage the week. We didn't want to go 1-3. Um, and they're talking Noah Hannafan might. He's been on the rumor mill about maybe coming to the Wings, and he doesn't want to resign, I guess, with Calgary.
Nope, he doesn't want to stay in Calgary, so there's a chance you could go after him. Maybe not, but we'll see what ends up happening with that. We'll kind of get into some trade rumors with the deadline coming soon, one day too. Also, other news this week before we get into the games, the Wings are playing in the Stadium Series game next year in Ohio Stadium. So they get another outdoor game, first time in a few years, and that'll be a fun game to watch. Even though it's against a crappy Columbus team, hopefully Columbus is better by then. But
I might like to go to that if we can get some tickets.
I mean, I can get tickets to it. We can go
Let's
to
go.
it. we can go to the game. It'll be fine.
Go in our Michigan car.
Go to Ohio. You're going to be wearing red at Ohio Stadium,
Yeah. I mean,
which is funny.
I don't mind
But
that. I've
but
never been to the horseshoe. So.
well, neither have I. I haven't been to a college stadium. But with that going into the next week, you got 4 games by Sunday next week. So you're gonna start the week still on the West Coast. You're playing the Kraken at 3 o'clock on a Monday, which is weird. But you're gonna start the week in Seattle. Seattle is about as good as you right now. They're 23-21. You got a few more wins than they do. And it should be a good game stat wise, right? They're only getting about 2.7 goals a game. They're letting up 2.8, so they are a better defensive team. They got a 20% power play and a 78% penalty kill. So
We've
they're
beaten them this year,
I
haven't we?
believe we did beat them earlier this year. Actually, no, they beat us in overtime 5-4 on that. If you remember that stick being thrown,
Oh, that's right.
and then there was some controversy with that game.
That was a good game.
It ended up in overtime. So there might be a little bit of some resentment actually going into this game too
Well,
because of that stuff.
I think we're kind of on even par with Seattle. I think we built our team like them, and it'll be a good test. We need to win that game because I think the Thursday game is going to be really tougher at the Avalanche. Is that Thursday or Wednesday?
The Avalanche is Thursday, so they're going to get a couple days. Yeah. They're coming back home for Thursday against the Avalanche, which is a really good team right now. 33 and 18-4. They only are letting up 3.2 goals a game, and they're getting about 3.6. So they're a good team. They have a good power play at 24% and a penalty kill at 81.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not going to be an easy game, but if you can pull out a win there,
Lanch.
I mean, you're back without Huso. Huso got hurt again this week. So Huso,
I've kind of given up on Huso. I mean, I hope he comes back, but I'm not even thinking about him. Um, if Reimer can give us a good game every, once every 10 days, I mean, if he can come out and be competitive.
if he can play like he did in Calgary, I mean, we don't have to
but
worry about anything.
but it's like I said, we're hoping Alex Lyon can carry us, and that's still a big if. We'll see.
But he's playing well.
And we got the trade thing. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they'll,
Uh,
make a deal for someone.
And then as we get to the weekend, we got a back-to-back on the weekend. You're going to start at home against St. Louis, another decent team, 29, 22, and 2. That we faced them earlier this year already, and we beat them 6-4 in St. Louis. So
That was a great game.
So we're going to be.
That was like the first really good Patrick Kane game, if I remember right. I think he had a great game that one. He was just all over the place.
Yeah, they are so far to this point averaging about 3 goals per game, 3 goals against, 28 shots on net, 32 against, and then a 17% power play and 79% penalty kill. But I mean, you're going to be going into this weekend with a back to back, and there's going to be probably some emotion with the second game of the week against Chicago. Patrick Kane's return to Chicago is happening this weekend.
Yeah, I really.
So we'll see how that ends up going. Chicago sucks though. You should beat them. They're 15, 37 and 3. So
you should beat them. I mean, that's one of the games you want to mark down, because like I said, we'll be coming off that brutal stretch. And so far, the Wings are holding up their end. They're 500. If they could stay, right around the eighth, that final wild card spot, at the end of this month, that's where they want to be.
yeah.
It's still not guaranteed. New Jersey's right there nipping at you. They're a really good team. They look to be looking for a goaltender too, because that's their one weak spot, I guess.
Yeah. But looking at Chicago right now, they're only averaging 2 goals a game, 3.4 against, and then they have a 12% power play and a 77% penalty kill. They're also only averaging 26 shots a game.
I haven't been paying attention lately. Is Connor Bedard still doing really well?
I think he's back from his broken jaw.
Yeah, he had a broken jaw. He's a tough kid.
Brendan Smith broke his jaw. He's leading the team in points too, with 36 points.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you're looking down the road with him. He's only a kid, and man, I think 2 or 3 years that guy's going to be dominating the league. So we need to. I'd like to see us go. What we got, like 8 points possible this week.
8 points
if
possible.
We could get 5 or better, I would like to see that out of those 8 points.
They're definitely going to win at least 2 games. They should win at least 2 of them. So you should split the week at least. I think 3 wins is possible. But it's going to be an interesting week because you're going to come home and then you kind of got games bunched together. You're almost playing 3 games in 4 days. So
right. I mean, Seattle, that would be great to start off the week good. I'd like to see a win there, and if they do that, I think that they could go 3-1 over the week and maybe get a possible 6 points out of the 8.
Yeah,
but we'll settle for 5, 5 or 6 points or more better. I think this week we need to start going on another little bit of a run.
We got to get out of February in the spot that we're kind of in and continue our momentum. Because at the moment, you're sitting 2 games behind the Lightning and they're 3 points ahead of you. So let's say you catch up on those 2 games, you should be a point ahead of the Lightning in the first wild card spot. You're still sitting in that second one, 2 points up on the Devils, 5 points up on the Islanders. And then Washington's also kind of sitting there at 56 points, 6 points back. And you do face Washington in a couple weeks. So that might be an important game. And you're still kind of sitting 4 points back of third place. Third place is a very easy spot to go Right now, surprisingly, I haven't paid attention to the standings as much. Florida just took first place in our division, so they're leading our division with 76 points.
They
But
overtook Boston.
they overtook
Oh,
Boston. Boston's sitting at 75. So, and they're also a game ahead of us. But I don't expect you to catch up to Florida or
oh
Boston.
no, 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 not yet.
But you definitely can get third place in the division.
Well, I mean, everything's so bunched up that yeah, I'll be happy with the playoff spot. That's all I want them to do. And so far, they haven't. They just can't go on any
Can't go on a
prolonged
bad run.
losing
They they,
streaks.
they keep need to keep on playing the way they're playing because we're at got halfway through this month basically, and you're kind of where you should be at. Like I said, if you could go 5-5 through this month, we would have been happy because you stay above 500. You kind of keep on your pace, and we're going to go into March, which is going to be a big month for you. But March is also somewhat in the easier realm of games that you have split out because I mean you're going to be playing some good teams like Florida, the Avalanche, but you're also going to be playing some bad teams like the Coyotes, the Sabres, the Blue Jackets, uh, and it's just going to be a better mix up of a month for you getting
Right,
into
I'm
March.
with
If you
you.
can get into March, you are going to be in a good spot. You are going to be in a good position to make the playoffs.
Right, I mean, February. We've gone through a brutal stretch here, and they've held it together. So you can't be too upset yet so far. I'm hoping this week, like I said, how many points you think you're looking at?
I would like
98,
4.
like 4 out of 8. I know. I'm thinking like at least 5 or 6.
I want to keep just a 500 streak for the month, kind of. Because if
Uh,
we can get out of
I
the
mean,
month,
that won't hurt them.
if we get out of the month 500, I'll be happy. Well, in the overall month, because you're not going to go below 500 this month. But I just want to be okay through the tougher games as we get to the easier ones. But with all that being said, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the upcoming games. And until next time, see everybody soon.